These are the days we sailors dream of. Waking up to the tropical sun, with beautiful turquoise waters all around us, and eagerly anticipating a perfect day of sailing ahead. Your social feeds are full of it, the enviable story of sailors around the world cruising in a constant 15-knot breeze and calm, flat waters. And the truth is, that is exactly why we do what we do. Those days are to die for, and when they come, you certainly don't want to miss them. However, this appreciation is made all the greater knowing that alongside the champagne sailing, there are countless days where we've poured our blood, sweat and tears into boat repairs, upgrades and preventative maintenance. Indioko has led a tough life, and whilst she's carried us through thick and thin, her old bones will let us know when she's tired, and sometimes it's our turn to carry her. This week has been one of those weeks.
Well, we were just about to lift anchor and leave, and a slight hiccup because the starter battery on our port engine has just suddenly died. So we have been stuck here for a couple of days. Thankfully, we managed to order a new one from Tahiti, and we have just heard that it has arrived here on the island. So we need to run and try and find it. So there is a little dock here, and we were really hoping that the supply ship was going to come here, but it looks like it goes to the other end of this motu, this island, which is about 10 kilometers away. So I was hoping that we could rent some bikes and have a lovely cycle down there, but
like the French Riviera.
Well, then we realized that we wouldn't be able to carry a really heavy battery back with us on a bike. So instead we have called a taxi, and hopefully we're going to find it somewhere around here and it can just whiz us down in no time.
So basically everything arrives by boat here because it's an island, obviously. And there's a couple of different boats that arrive to this island throughout the course of the year. We were lucky enough that the Maristella, which has been out of action for a couple of months, has just started moving again. So we managed to squeeze our battery on that boat, which only took, I think, 2 or even 3 days to get from Tahiti to here. So we kind of got lucky. We've been kind of sat around waiting, but there's worse places to wait, let's be honest. It is all go here. It's like, I've never seen it so busy.
Yeah, it's like the whole island has turned out to get, not only all of like the grocery stores get restocked, but individual people like us have ordered stuff that has arrived. I have no idea what the system is and how we find it, but I'm just going to wander around all these crates until we see a battery-sized box and see if we can take it.
You can get a bike, you can get a fire engine.
Oh, this is great.
You can get everything here. It's like a big market.
And the first step is they say that they don't actually have our parcel. They looked through all of the order forms for stuff they've brought for people and our name wasn't on the list. So they've gone back to look inside, and I'm really hoping that he comes out carrying something with a big smile on his face.
In the meantime, I've just realized they've been unloading everything from fences and gas bottles to a tractor. Everything comes on these ships. It's hilarious. And yeah, everyone is just like loading up flatbed trucks and pummeling them off to other parts of the island. And this one motu, which is like 10 kilometers long, is basically, well, it's one of 2 inhabited little islands that make up the atoll. So everything comes here.
They've now said they have found our battery, but it is still on the boat. So we just have to like wait around for a while they unload everything else, and then eventually, hopefully, it will come out. We got a drink in a nearby cafe, made a new friend, and now I think we have some good news, and our box has actually come off the ship.
Success!
And now I'm recognizing why it was a good thing that we didn't cycle here. I can just about hold this, but I can't really walk with it. It's quite heavy.
We have to walk back with it now unless we can sort out a car.
Yes, I'm hoping that we can find another taxi to get back again, because it would be like, a long way to go if we didn't. But we finally arrived. I think we had to wait about 3 hours in the end, but Success!
Too right, things are quieting down an awful lot here now. The majority of the ship has been emptied, but we got our battery.
Yay!
All right, is this our first ever box opening video?
Should we do an unboxing? I might need to get scissors to actually get into it though.
I've already
I'm just
got it
taking
covered.
the label off.
All good unboxing videos use some ridiculous implement.
So, yeah, some of you, if you looked very, very carefully at the end of last week's video when we were filling up our jerry cans in the fuel station, may have noticed that Ian bought a machete.
Yeah, I did.
We were like, maybe if we go to the beach and we want to like cut open a coconut or something.
Which we then went to the beach to burn some rubbish and discovered that I'd forgotten to take it with me. But anyway.
I don't think there's going to be many people watching this video who think that this is a good idea.
Would you like a different blade?
Giving me a machete.
Would you like to try a camping knife instead?
No, I'm determined.
Oh, well, the offer was made.
We can speed this bit up. And for Christmas we got
A new battery.
a battery! I'm assuming, is this the handle?
Yeah.
It is quite heavy. So we ordered this in French over the phone and I'm really just hoping it's the right kind of thing. It's got pegs instead of screw terminals, is that right?
Yeah, but they
then
gave
we-
us some screw terminals.
Ordered some bits that we can put on and hopefully they fit. So that's my job done. I'm going to pass it over to you now and you can go and fit the thing.
This thing is surprisingly heavy.
Well done.
So, from what I can tell, looking at the sticker on it, it's actually been in place. Wait, that can't be right. Been in place since 2009.
Oh my goodness. It's done well.
It's done all right, yeah. At least that's what the sticker says. So, yeah, again, Indy has many things that we've been repairing and reproving. Impairing and reproving
Yeah, that's more like it.
through the years. And I guess this is one of them. So the starter battery has finally had it. Basically, we discovered it was like less than 10 volts after we charged it with a nice 120 amp alternator for an hour. So I think the chemistry has finally failed on it somehow, which is a shame, but c'est la vie.
Yeah, bad timing, but hey, we've got a brand new shiny one now.
Here's hoping it works. So yeah, we'll stick this guy in. We will add the little terminal adapters, get everything bolted in. Hopefully the engine starts. I don't know how charged this will have shipped, so we'll see about that. And then we'll do a quick meter of the battery, and we'll meter the alternator just to check that all is well. And if all's good, then we're back to normal. Excellent. So we've got a full 12.4 volts.
Yay!
DC.
Lovely
So
stuff.
not fully charged, but definitely charged enough that we can use it. So that's perfect. That's a resting voltage as well. So
Okay.
should
Nice.
be okay.
All right, the time has come to test it. We're going to see if the new battery actually works, and then we can just get going.
If it whistles, that's already one step in the right direction.
Yeah, I wasn't doing that before.
Okay.
That's a good sign.
Voltage 12.4, 12.5.
We have
Fine.
life.
We're on the move again.
Let's go.
Lift the anchor, get up, let's go. Check the yard arm, batten the hatches, all the stuff they say in movies that I don't know.
Fire the cannons. It is so ridiculously calm today. We have about 3 knots of breeze, so it is achingly hot, but the water is just like a mirror inside the lagoon. It's absolutely ridiculous. We are just going to motor up for about an hour back to the other pass. There is a pass here at this village, but it is pretty shallow and pretty dodgy, and there's 2 shipwrecks nearby, so I think that's a sign that we should not go through that one. But I'm so excited to be on the move again. It is almost high tide. We are just motoring around the corner to this pass and there's absolutely 0 wind. So it should be a lovely, lovely exit just before sunset. Yeah, I'm looking forward to this one.
It's not entirely zero. There
No?
are 10 knots of true wind.
Oh, maybe we'll get the sails up there.
Howling along. 9.5 knots-ish.
This seems all good so far. We've got like a knot and a half, I think, of incoming current just before high tide. And because there's no wind, there's been like not that much swell outside, so the waves haven't even built up at all. I think I'm glad that we waited and got the conditions like this, because I've had enough of big, scary, terrifying passes for a while. And I'm ready for this just to be a nice, easy one, please. Throw me a dolphin and I'd be delighted. Maybe they heard me. Ian claims he's just saw 2 dolphins. Come on, buddies. Come and play! Yay! I see them somewhere in here. There they are. They're massive. They're absolutely huge. Woo-hoo-hoo-hoo-hoo! I do apologise. I did absolutely awful camera work, and you probably couldn't see them at all, just a wee smudge or a blob in the background. But I promise you, they were there.
Can't tell if that's a diver or a dolphin on the surface.
All right, you're not going to see this, but just right there, there is a very tired and lazy dolphin just sitting on the surface. It's not even joining in the games.
That's weird. They're literally just sat on the surface as if they're watching the dive boat that's right there. I don't think I've ever seen dolphins just sitting on the surface like that.
No, it looked like it was just in a huff and not playing with the other ones.
I'm done. Maybe it's been playing all afternoon in the waves and now it's tired, and that's
Yeah.
how dolphins rest. That's... I don't know. There'll be somebody watching this who's like a dolphin expert.
This is going to be one of those stories where you don't believe me. And to be honest, I will admit that if I heard anybody else saying this, I would absolutely think they were lying. But you know, one of those massive waves where the boat came really high and then like dropped into the trough of it?
Yeah.
As the wave in front of the boat came up, literally it threw a fish out.
What?
A fish, it did not jump. A fish got thrown out of the wave in front of the boat and landed. I don't think I was filming at the time, and it was quite small, but it was the funniest thing I've ever seen.
I don't think it works that way.
It was like the fish was swimming along, and then it was just like, oh, the sea has disappeared in the waves.
You reckon there's a bit like how you think people fly? You just go a straight line and the world just falls away.
Yeah, that's what happened to
You reckon a
that poor
fish is
little
just
fish.
swimming along and it was like, oh, here, what's
It has
this?
swum home to its family now, and they've been like, you never guess what happened, and its family are ridiculing it.
Is it a flying fish? So we decided to play the game of dolphin whispering, and now we picked up 2 dolphins and a whole
four.
pod are on their way. I'm going to try and get forward to that pod.
There's more coming in.
Yeah, we've got the whole pod coming to play.
Yay!
Who doesn't love dolphins?
There's loads coming in here on our starboard side. Look, they're all jumping. Just here. There's a baby one! Baby ones are the best! They came to play! I want to jump in and swim with them. All right, this is version number 17.4 of the dolphin cam.
This is a challenge. Remember, we are moving at speed, so there's quite a lot of resistance when you put a camera in the water.
Don't lose the camera.
Exactly.
So this is like a 3-meter long selfie stick, and I'm fairly sure it's either going to bend or just come completely out of your hands. But we're going to try it for you.
Oh no, they're going away.
Woohoo! All right, is this going to work?
Will we lose the camera? Big waves. Aww.
We've gone over the other side.
I think they've gone back to mum and dad. That was cool.
Oh, you know what? I was so set up for this to be a completely boring passage because we're probably going to have to motor the whole way, but a beautiful sunset and dolphins on the bow. I'm happy with that.
I mean, come on, a full dolphin pod at sunset. What is there to complain about? I hope this worked. If it didn't work, you're going to get some really rubbish shots now. I got a shallow water alarm on the boat because of the dolphin.
Well, maybe our luck ran out with the dolphins. It's only about 8 o'clock at night. We've only been going a few hours. And unfortunately, our cleaning out of the diesel tanks last week did not totally solve the problem. So our starboard engine has spluttered and died. I think it's just pulling up little bits of gunk still into the pickup tank. But Ian has had the clever idea that at the moment we're pulling up, our pickup line goes all the way to the bottom of the tank, which is where the gunk sits and gets picked up and clogs. So if we can pick up from higher in the tank, we should avoid all of that stuff. It's absolutely a temporary solution, but we just need something to be able to get us to the next atoll. So we are going to try and build something that does that. It's going to be absolutely bodged, but it might work to see us through the night.
So yeah, we've just been kind of plugging along, and sorry it's pretty dark. I've turned off a lot of the outside lights because we're in the middle of nowhere, as usual. However, for some strange reason, out of nowhere, these lights started popping up on our horizon, and we checked them out, and it was on the AIS that we realized this is actually a cargo ship, like quite a big cargo ship. And I don't know what it is. Maybe it's a change in the rules in this part of the world that I just don't know about. But for some reason, so normally you would pass on the port side, which for those of you who don't do boats, the left-hand side of the boat if you're on the boat looking forward. You'd normally pass a boat on that side. Whereas for some reason, very clearly from like 3-4 miles away, these guys were trying to pass us on our starboard side. So I decided to change course slightly because I don't really want to pick a fight with a giant container ship. And and then we're not going all that fast. We're going like, right now we're going 4.5 knots. They decided they were going 7 knots until they came up to line with us, and now they've slowed down. They're not radioing us. They're not signaling us in any way. I don't quite understand what's going on. They passed on the wrong side of the boat. They have caught up with us and slowed their pace slightly. And it's in the middle of the night, so you'd think that they would want to, keep their distance and just have an easy ride of it. Now, I know they're a cargo ship. They probably have a lot more serious equipment on board and fancy gadgets that we don't have. But we have Zora, and Zora can tell me that they are now within 1,500 meters of us, 1.5 kilometers. And I'm still changing course because they were slightly closing on us, and I didn't really want that. I just got another warning, 1.5 kilometers away. So, I don't know what's going on. Maybe we'll give them a call. Or we'll just keep steering away from them, see if they keep chasing us. If they chase us, there's probably a good reason. Maybe we left something behind and they're trying to give it back. Good morning. Welcome to Motor Yacht Indioko, I guess. We pretty much motored, we have motored non-stop since we left Rangiroa up at the top there, and it was 4 o'clock give or take that we lifted anchor and got moving, 4:30 maybe, and it is now, it was 4:30 yesterday afternoon, it's now 6 a.m, just coming up 1, and it's been mirror flat all night. Like we could see the stars reflecting in the sea. It was that flat. It was beautiful, impossible to show on camera, so you'll just have to come out here and do it yourself. But it was an absolutely beautiful night, but a noisy one because the engines were running the whole time. So, of course, now that the sun is starting to rise, the wind has started to fill in, but it is dead ahead of us. So, if we're going to use it, maybe when Brad gets up, we'll have a chat about it and see if we start tacking. There's a gap between the atolls here that we could probably do that tack. My only concern is on our return tack, there's a pretty beastly-looking rainstorm happening over here, so I suspect we would end up tacking straight into that. So, I don't know. One for a discussion, I think. And if we manage to get the engines off, all the better. I don't know if you mentioned it, but we're heading to a place called the Blind Pass. This is pretty cool, and we heard about this online somewhere, but basically, passes are generally entrances or exits from the atolls that we tend to hang out in while we're here, because everywhere else is so deep. However, this one, we're actually going to, we're going to sleep in it. We're going to anchor in it, or moor in it, I think. I think it's mooring poles. You actually can't get all the way through into the atoll. So we're just going to go into the pass, stop there, set up on the hook or on a mooring ball, And apparently it's really beautiful snorkeling there, and because the water is obviously, well, it cleans itself with every tide change. So apparently the visibility can be quite special too. So yeah, kind of excited to see how that works.
I have now woken up and joined the land of the living. These conditions are completely opposite to what we were expecting. We're now seeing like 25, 30 knots of wind. I don't know how long it's going to last because we are very, very clearly under a massive stormy cloud, but we're going to make the most of it and throw some sails up and see if it helps us. And we're flying. We have got 2 reefs in the main. We've got 2 reefs in the Genoa, even though we're seeing like 25 to 30 knots. It's sort of debatable if we need that second reef, but we figured we will let things settle and see how we are. We can always shake it out if we need to or if we want to, but yeah, we're making 6 knots all of a sudden. Not quite where we want to go. We're kind of heading east instead of southeast, but these conditions are so temporary, we think, that it's just good to have the engines up and be moving under our own power for a little bit. And yeah, we will take any wind that we can get on this passage. Well, it's always hard to catch the exciting bits on camera, and that's exactly what just happened. The wind's kind of picked up to 40 knots, and we were like, oh, we might have to take the mainsail down, but the rains were getting heavy, and we thought, well, we'll tack and see how that goes. As we tacked, the clutch on the Genoa sheet on the port side got stuck. So we turned the boat. The whole Genoa came over onto one side, but the line wasn't releasing. As we then tried to tack back, something blew out on the other side.
So the clutch on that side actually is broken now. It actually snaps the metalwork that lifts the little lever inside it. So we're going to have to replace that clutch. And then on this side, the traveller car had this little pulley block that kind of controls the angle of the line that comes back to the clutch on this side. And basically the pin exploded out of that and this shot across the deck and nearly hit me. So yeah, not our best tack.
So to get control of the Genoa, we just had to like point into wind, furl it as quickly as we could. Ian managed to unstick the clutch on this side with a screwdriver. We then dropped the mainsail in these massive, massive waves that we're seeing now. And as I came inside to check our angle, because I had moved our iPad inside so that the rain didn't get it, and as I came inside to check it, I tripped over the screwdriver that Ian had just been using, and I caught my foot up. So we're doing exceedingly well this morning. We were making lovely progress at 6 knots, but I don't even know where we're going now. We're kind of close to Tahiti, which is one option that we could pull in and stop at, or we can wait for this to subside and just motor the rest of the way. I think it is going to die out in about an hour's time. I think we're just seeing the tail end of a big squall. But whew, that's a way to wake up.
We're still seeing 37 knots. True.
I looked at the forecast and I thought we were going to be behind this the whole way down, but the tail end of it seems to be hanging around.
Yeah, and every so often now, I always make the joke, big waves come on the 7th wave. But yeah, we keep getting hit by pretty huge waves come piling in.
Yeah.
And you just see both bows bury and then pop back up the other side. So hope the engines hold out.